Bigfoot Club, Season 2, Episode 8. I'm your host, Robert Jesse Dominguez, and with me today is... Ash. And Chris is not with us today. He's moving furniture, and we have a sub in today via call-in. Just describe yourself, caller.
I'm a father of twins. I'm also a nephew to a legend, and I like biscuits, and I like eggs. So breakfast is the start of all things that are great to start the day.
Yeah, I know somebody that doesn't like eggs.
Yeah, my kids.
Yeah. Oh man. So we took a week off. Was it a week or 2 weeks? I feel like 2 weeks.
I don't know.
The other thing is 2 weeks.
Maybe it was 2 weeks.
Yeah. Because of this dumb Corona stuff. You guys want to touch on some Corona stuff really quick?
Just quickly.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. It's affecting. I mean, it's affecting everybody, but it's like my job is like super crazy busy right now, and I've been like unloading trucks. Like I feel like I'm working a warehouse now.
Yeah.
So, how about y'all?
And I think this virus has really opened up our eyes that we took a lot of public things for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Like going to the movies, going to a concert, going to, going to visit people at the hospital, going to visit the elderly at some homes, and simple stuff that we took for granted. And I hope we all learn from that after we pass through this difficult time.
That's really good words of wisdom from a younger guy.
Yep.
So,
I'm not that. But.
Ash, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. It changes every day. It's just it's got just the anticipation.
Yeah.
Like every day, it's like, and at my work, I guess they assume that I would have those answers all the time, and it's like I have no idea what to expect.
So people come down and like ask you questions? Yeah,
or like just when they're coming in, it's like, are you going to be open? What's going to be the thing?
Yeah.
Can we come up here? I'm like, I don't know. Right now, yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah. It's crazy because I don't really know. I don't talk that much about my job, but I work in a medical, not a medical facility, but a medical company that supports lots of people. So we're actually shipping a bunch of medical supplies out. So there's not that many people there, but Chris and I are still working like really hard all the time. So, and I think I unloaded like 6 trucks one day. It was just a lot of work. And I'm not really used to that, but, we had to get it done so we can have medical supplies.
It's really important.
Yeah. So
I think it's really great that your company's doing that, too.
Yeah, I feel.
So you would say your job is very essential.
Yes, it's very essential. Yeah.
Mine allegedly is, and I would debate that all day long.
Yeah. What's actually? I mean, we don't have to talk about what's exactly in your building, but is there essential companies in your building?
Fuck no.
So what's the deal?
I don't know what the deal is. I guess because people want to still come up there and work some.
Yeah.
Because they are a little bit, and I think there's like one company that has maybe 5 people working there. I think they work at some kind of call center. I'm not really sure, honestly. Because I don't go in there.
Right.
But it's like at what point does this become an issue? Where
yeah. I mean the good thing is that there's not that many people there, and
right.
And you're maybe not exposed as much. I don't know.
I just don't like it. I think about it like when I'm like Ubering. It's like, oh, that seatbelt just touched my face.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Stuff you wouldn't think about. So that's so benign, but it's probably gross anyway, and you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that you're just hyper aware of everything now.
Super hyper.
Yeah.
Steven, how about your job?
Well, I just started Water Logic this past week, and I found out that it's very important because they send purified dispensers to hospitals for their patients, like for purified water and stuff. So I thought that was kind of cool to know that my job handles that.
Wow.
So I'm very, very blessed to be in an essential job and working during this time. There's I feel like not many apartments are not in the same boat as we don't care how you pay your rent. We want you to pay rent no matter what. So we just gotta, unfortunately, stay on top of the bills, because during this time, it's not everybody's on the same page.
Right.
And that's really unfortunate.
It is. It's a tough time. So this is kind of strange because, like, I know we're gonna probably touch on it, because like show wise, it like the Flash, Supernatural, they stopped production because of this, and I watch a bunch of wrestling, and they've been like doing shows with no audience, and I think they're gonna probably move to, like, they're gonna start taping stuff.
Yeah.
So it's affecting everything.
Well, and the health of their athletes too. I mean.
Yeah.
Like Roman Reigns had to drop out because he just went through chemotherapy, and there's probably all sorts of talent that has just things like asthma or something that you wouldn't think of, that they really can't be exposed.
Yeah, because I think each state is going through its separate emergency and protocol, just where people just can't move. And so I know a lot of wrestlers are in different states, and they're not going to be able to move. And at first they were going to do WrestleMania 2 nights, Saturday and Sunday, and then they were going to, talk about the card. And then as this, shelter in place is going on in each state, I think they're moving to start taping stuff now, because I think they're going to tape 2 weeks of Monday Night Raw, 2 weeks of SmackDown, 2 weeks of NXT, and they're also recording WrestleMania.
Wow.
So, and it's changing like you were saying, day to day. So it's just kind of strange. So
it is interesting. Yeah. The entertainment industry, their aspect, I think it both is hurting and helping. Maybe the bigger acts and things, it's hurting them because they depend on their tours. But then the smaller people are doing at home stuff, and we were talking about that earlier. It's maybe people will buy a virtual ticket that wouldn't be able to go to a show for a smaller act. And so things like that, people that work from home, it's good times for them, because that's what people are doing right now. That's what's accessible. You know?
I'm actually caught up on some shows.
Yes.
Since this thing was going on.
I watched the Tiger King show in one sitting on my day off.
I haven't seen that.
And
Steven, have you seen that?
I heard so many things about it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like the
and
same
you guys
thing
lived
with,
in Oklahoma too.
Yeah. But it's the same thing with the trials of Gabriel Fernandez. I tried watching it, and as a parent, I couldn't stomach it.
Yeah.
So after the third episode, I just I can't.
I don't think it's quite like that,
Yeah, but when it involves tigers and someone died,
well,
I don't know.
Allegedly, they're not sure. He went missing.
Yeah,
this lady's husband went missing.
I hadn't really watched it, but there's memes all over the all over Facebook right now because
it's so funny because it's so real. Because I live close to that area. I've been in that area of Oklahoma. And it's just it's so on the nose. It's if I had a dime for as many weddings that look like people dressed like that at weddings, a camo hat and, a button down or a shirt with a lightning and an eagle on it. And,
Wow.
just shit like that. It's just all I'm thinking about. It's like, this is so true. It's like I could have had a beer with these guys over at Blue Bar,
Wow.
Because I think that that Joe Exotic guy, I think he went to school, like high school in Texas, I think.
I think he had a pet store here at one point.
Was it a pet store? Okay.
I think so. Because I think my friend Amy was posting about that, and somebody was talking about they worked there, and he always had a gun and was always talking. And it's like, I worked there one day, and that was enough for me.
Yeah, because it says here that he went to high school in Wyoming, so he must have had the pet store. It was just kind of odd. I follow Jaden's Toys, and he does a podcast now, and he released a Joe Exotic toy.
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh God.
That's gonna be a thing for a little bit.
Yeah. And there's like a bunch of memes.
Shout out to Jaden's Toys.
What's that?
Shout out to Jaden's Toys.
I know. Shout out to Jaden's Toys that I asked to do. I reached out to him and asked him to do a podcast. And he's doing a podcast now. So.
Oh, copycat.
Yeah. You just gave him an idea, though, man.
I know.
Everybody's got a podcast, though.
Yeah, everyone has a podcast idea. So he just, he's got the Toy Story that. Well, who was on it? Zach Ryder and
I can't think of the other guy's name.
Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins. They were the Edge heads. They were Edge's.
Yeah.
Edge's guys.
Yeah.
So anyway.
And Zach talked really highly about it because I forgot what toy he had that was like the original, like, I guess printing of that toy, whatever.
Yeah, WWE goes through a lot of different, manufacturers and trademarks and stuff like that. And Zack Ryder, he knows his history of toys, and so he knew exactly what was the first edition, what was the second edition. So he was pretty impressed with Jaden's Toys. So
he got the freaking Batmobile. I know that.
Yeah.
the Tim Burton Batmobile. I was like, oh man, I've always wanted that one.
Yeah.
Ones with all the colors and stuff.
Yeah.
But how the boys doing?
They're doing good. They're not listening. They're in that phase of not listening, but
yeah, that's what they do, man.
Yeah. He woke. Was it Sebastian? They woke up like at 6:50 this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept saying, "I'm hungry," So I made like this big old plate of carbs, but it was breakfast. There was the blueberry waffles and cinnamon French toast sticks, and I feel like there was French toast waffles too, but they're just the bread. And he ate like half a waffle, and he's like, "Okay, I'm tired." I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Any other day that wouldn't have been enough, but
yeah, like
any other day, he would have handled that like a boss. Like I've seen him eat like 4 waffles and be like, "I'm hungry."
He's. Waffles, I know. We were talking off show that he jacked your McChicken sandwich.
Yeah.
And so he's done that to me on hash browns all the time. When I'm eating hash browns, he just jacks it. He says, "What's that?" Yeah. And I go, "It's a hash brown." He grabs it and starts eating it. And I was like, "Okay, never mind. I guess I wasn't going to eat it."
And I think it was the first week when we were like quarantined, and they wanted tater tots.
Oh no!
So I Ubered eat tater tots, and I was from Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "I'm gonna get me some cheeseburgers." So I started eating a cheeseburger, and Sebastian did the same thing. "What are you eating, Daddy?" "Is that breakfast?" I go, "No, it's a cheeseburger." "It's cheeseburger. I like cheeseburgers." "Oh, you want a bite?" Jack my cheeseburger.
Man, that's like when I had those gummy bears.
Yeah, he was in cheeseburger. Yeah, he ate half a cheeseburger and like a bunch of tater tots. I was like, really? This kid.
Yeah, he could. They both can hear like gummy bear rappers
from
anytime.
the other room, man.
Yeah, when you say their name, it's loud.
Nope.
Fashion, nothing.
The
They hear
tiniest
like a
cackle.
rapper, candy rapper.
Yeah, they're like running around the corner.
They're on you like a velociraptor.
Yep, exactly.
So
But that's the boys.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So hey, do you have any fun facts?
What?
Do you have any fun facts? You know, since you like to beat Chris to the.
Fun fact? No, I do not.
Yeah, you're here.
Yeah, I'm here. And I feel kind of like upset that Chris doesn't want to do a show with me. I guess he just doesn't like me anymore.
Well, he's moving furniture right now. And
Yeah, but what was he doing last time? Painting?
he was painting last time, yeah. Or
And then what was the one before that?
I think he was on a cruise or something. So
Yeah.
See, I think these are like excuses to not do a show with me.
yeah, that's fine.
Like, oh, you're gonna do Steven? You're gonna have Steven on there?
Bye.
I'm
Yeah.
moving furniture.
Yeah, we'll probably get more downloads or something.
Yeah.
So
We're doing all right now.
yeah. I just it took me all week to do it, but I finally loaded our podcast onto YouTube. So we have a YouTube. Bigfoot Club 1 is our. If you're on YouTube and you want to try to find us, that's how you can find us. So, but I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
Bigfoot Club 1?
Yeah, but I will say this though. I have to be mindful going forward on music and whatever sound bites I play on here because like YouTube finds it quick.
Yeah. It
So,
does. It
I-
really
Oh,
does.
yeah.
So I had to filter like seven episodes of music like so they catch a lot of stuff.
I
So
have to find.
Like whenever Tim was there, you put the Darth Vader theme song.
well they didn't catch that, but they caught the Tenacious D like a couple
Yeah.
times. What was
Sorry.
that? That scared the heck out of me.
I accidentally,
What was
I
that?
accidentally clicked the video of the Bigfoot Club 1.
Oh, okay.
And I was trying to go to the page to subscribe to it. There we go.
So it caught Tenacious D like a couple times. It caught the Stone Cold theme a couple times.
We're gonna have to
And-
Dang it,
send-
really?
We're gonna have to send Jables and Cage some
Yeah.
money. We're like, can we use your song?
So it's caught a bunch of stuff, and I've had to trim it out and just go without it. So
Yeah.
You can use, I think you could use 7 seconds of it, right?
I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
I got to research that.
It's a certain amount. I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
you can use it as long as it's not over 7 seconds.
Okay, I got to research that and
So,
probably do that.
yeah.
So we can't do the whole,
You can still have it
whole
on there.
song
Just
sing
not
along.
as, yeah.
Yeah, just not the whole song.
We'll figure something out. I got some people we can talk to.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to stop doing my
Because
My
PewDiePie does
JT
it all
stuff.
the time.
You what, Steven?
PewDiePie does it all the time.
Yeah,
He uses like a lot of like music references on there, but it's like always at 5 seconds, and he cuts it off.
he's smart. I guess I gotta
Yep.
research that. What I kind of wanted to talk about today was there's some images that's been going around the internet and Facebook recently, and we can go into our first subject here. So the first subject is Bigfoot. I think that was 7 seconds.
Is it copywritten though?
No, but I'm
Well,
just,
then we don't have to worry about it.
I'm just practicing.
Just
I'm
practicing.
practicing. So our first subject we're going to talk about was Bigfoot, and like I was saying, there's been some pictures going around on the internets, and I posted this on the Bigfoot Club Facebook page. It's singularfloridian.com, and it's images of a Sasquatch encounter in Bailey, Colorado in 2017. And the guy, Tobias Whalen, posted this on March the 16th, 2020. And it's a picture of, and it's from this guy named Scott Yeoman. He's on another Facebook group page too, so I forgot the name of it. I think it's called Bigfoot Now is the Facebook group page. and it's a picture of a Bigfoot peeking through the window, and I don't know if you guys saw it. I don't know. I'll let y'all comment on it right now. So
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I saw it, and like I told you earlier, it looks creepy, but it could also, it could also be fake
yeah,
at the same time. Because anyone could get black paint and cover their face, and anybody, the eyes look black, so anybody brave enough to put black contacts on for pictures, I don't know.
yeah, because like the pictures that are posted on there is like it looks like someone had a screen and then took a picture with a camera or their phone or something. So
that's what you said it was, wasn't it? That he took pictures out of, he had a video and then he lost the video in a house fire.
Yeah. So supposedly, it was in 2017 in Bailey, Colorado, and it's 8. He says it was 8 acres, and it's alongside a mountain about 11,000 feet up. So it's he says there's a lot of game there, and there's bears and cats and stuff, and so he was not. I think whenever it happened. Hold on here. He said what I thought was kind of interesting. I was reading a story, and see, he said at first he thought it was a bear.
Right. And
when this thing came up, and the thing that really caught me when I was reading the story is that he said this thing was swaying back and forth.
Right.
And so that's
not common knowledge. Is it?
Yeah. So that kind of caught me a little bit. And I thought it was kind of interesting. He said that...
And it closed his eyes.
Yeah, it closed his eyes like almost like a kid. Like, hey, I'm, you can't see me.
They do that, don't they? They'll do, like...
Yeah.
I've heard a few people mention that be like, oh, you can't see me if I can't see you kind of thing.
Right. Know? And what really caught me was that the swaying back and forth. And so the guy said it was a Kodak. It was an older Kodak digital camera. And he said he said that he had like a 10-minute video. And this thing was hanging out in his window for 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of creepy. It's kind of weird. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what do you do for 10 minutes if you see a Bigfoot out of the window? I mean, I don't know what I would do, but...
Yeah, I don't know if I would do anything. Just stand there. Like, that was all that I could think to do. Just stand there and watch.
He's probably frozen and stuff, so...
That's why I was kind of hoping that the video would still exist so you can hear, if you can hear the fear.
Yeah.
If you can hear the quietness, you can see, even if you don't see, if it's not a good quality picture and you can't see him swaying, but you can see him pointing, like, recording a window. That's what I was kind of hoping, but I was like, okay, it's got lost in the fire. But I will point out that on the face where you can see where he's like directly looking at the camera, and you see the black eyes, you see, I don't know, right above his nose, like there's like 3 dots that kind of look unique. I don't know if that's just a reflection of the.
Now
I don't know if it's a reflection of his face, but I thought that it was unique. Like he's got there's like 3 dots or 4 dots.
Let me try to pull
like
that
1,
up.
2, 3.
Is that the one with the eyes? The eyes really good?
Yeah, the eyes are really good. Like you can see the eyes, and you don't even see the nose yet. You can see like the bridge of the nose.
Yeah, I do see that.
There's like 1, 2, 3 dots, and then there's one above the middle one. So it's like 4 dots.
Maybe a flash or something. I don't know.
It could have been the flash, or not literally the flash, but it could have been a flash.
Because you can see you can see like right above its head where the head would be. There's another like light there too. So
yeah, so I don't know if that's why I thought it was kind of unique. Like maybe it's his, I guess like his muscles. Like you know how we have that whenever we're trying to look at something, we kind of squint or
the furrow
like our muscles,
of our brow.
the skin.
Yeah,
the skin like kind of pulls up whenever your eyes kind of
protrudes
so I thought
out.
that was kind of
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of unique to where it's like it could not be fake. You know, you could definitely see some muscle tone there in the face.
Yeah, I mean, since it wasn't a flash. I would the first kind of thought, because actually Tim sent me this video, like, I want to say last Monday, but I didn't see his email until like Wednesday or Thursday, and I was already looking at this. Already, and he sends it to me, and he asked me, "Hey, can you send this to Luke?" So I sent it to Luke. I sent him the pictures, and so I was trying to see what he thought, and and I don't think he saw it until, I think, late yesterday. Let me just read what he said, what he thought. I can pull it up. But yeah, because like, I know, since this was a video, this kind of struck me that I kind of thought the eyes would be red if it was a flash. So it wasn't a flash; it was a video. So I just thought it was kind of odd. I can't seem to get to Luke's comments. Anyway, so what Luke was kind of saying was, because I don't think he read the whole article, and he was trying to saying that anybody in a mask or anybody with CGI can fake stuff, but he was interested in seeing the video, so I don't think he read the article all the way.
Right.
And so, because I know Steven kind of touched on this a little bit already, that, the guy, whenever this happened, from what I was reading, the Bigfoot was standing outside the window for like 10 minutes, and his wife finally walked up and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then she says, "Hey, what's that?" And, she freaks out, and she runs into the bedroom, and, he runs after her, and then runs after, I think, a gun inside his closet. And he notices that the Bigfoot was running away, and I guess his wife got, panicked, and so his kids took his wife away, and so he went to his mom's house to go download this footage, and apparently his mom's house burned down and lost the video. So that's kind of coincidence, but
it was a Bigfoot.
Yeah, yeah.
Part of the fire.
He's a Men in Black. They knew what he had.
That's funny.
Covering it up.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think Luke had time to read it, but yeah, I thought, even in the article it says, "Wow, what a coincidental, right?"
Yeah.
That 10 minutes of footage was lost in the fire, but
the
pictures look to be real, but at the same time, I don't know. They're pictures. They're good pictures, though.
Yeah, I thought they were interesting. I mean, interesting enough to talk about.
Yeah.
Because I think I posted the link on the Bigfoot Facebook page, but it doesn't have all the pictures. So I actually posted all the pictures from that Bigfoot Facebook group. I posted it on our Bigfoot Facebook page, so everybody can look at them, can see the eyeballs, and then the 3 dots that you're talking about on his forehead and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Very interesting.
I just thought that it looked like what do you call it? What do they call it? I can't believe I'm losing my memory on this. On Star Trek.
Klingon.
Klingon.
A Klingon.
Klingon.
I've been watching that
like
of Star Trek lately. Yeah. It was just Commander Worf.
Are you watching that right now, Ash? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm almost done with Next Gen.
The Klingon Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. So.
Did you see that meme that I posted where it was like, "Oh my God, it's Bigfoot," and it's like, "Oh my God, it's Little Wiener Man."
Yeah, I've seen that one. They post that all the time on the because I'm on like about 4 Bigfoot group pages, and so someone's always posting that one all the time. So
like, that's why park rangers don't talk about it, man.
Yeah. So anywho,
those pictures, yeah, they're good pictures. I will say that. I just wish we had the video to see it.
Yeah, this kind of, in a way, and I'm going to talk about this, and it's like, I don't really like talking about it because it's a person I don't really like. But it's a guy by the name of not this guy, but his associate. His name is Tim Coonbo Baker, and he runs with Bear. I don't know if you guys Bear. And so Coonbo. Sorry, Tim. Coonbo posted this picture that looks similar to this.
Really?
It almost looks like, and I think Luke kind of showed it to us when we were doing the interview. There was a picture of it looked like a Neanderthal. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
So I have it somewhere in my archive somewhere, and Coonbo was supposedly took a picture of this Bigfoot with some kind of binocular or some kind of camera that had a really long lens on it, and it kind of resembled this picture of this Bigfoot, but it was like far away and it was like over a tree or I don't know, something like that. But when I saw that, I said, "Oh, freaking Coonbo is doing it again!" But it wasn't him, so. But I gotta get Luke to send me that picture, and then we'll post it on the Facebook page so people can look at it, see what I'm talking about.
All right on.
But anywho, but that was kind of interesting because like Tim reached out to me and goes, "Hey, have you seen this?" And like Tim doesn't believe in Facebook, so
Yeah.
he doesn't like he's really practicing social distance like big time. So
There's nothing wrong with that.
yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. So I tell him because like he's always sending me stuff, and I said, "Dude, I already saw this like 2 weeks ago." I seen it.
Get with the now.
I know, get with it now. But his episode is actually, where's it at right now? Let me see.
It's kicking ass, man.
Yeah, it's like
iHeartRadio likes Tim, man.
he's at 256. He's like he's at 256 right now, and the pilot episode is at. The pilot's our monster one.
Yeah.
The pilot is at 263, so he's almost there. So him alone he's gonna beat our pilot. So it just kind of slowed down. So
Kenny's gonna have probably a little bit more, maybe.
yeah, Ken the Marvel. Yeah, whenever we do get him on,
one of these days.
yeah, hopefully in May or something.
Oh God.
Because we got like 30 more days of
Yep.
in shelter. What's it called? Shelter in place. Shelter in place.
Well, I don't know if it's shelter in place throughout, but in the country, it's social distancing.
Yeah.
That's good grief. There's so much more that they can do. People think it's vacation. That's what drives me crazy right now is like seeing all these people out in parks and.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was saying this earlier. I was saying this to you earlier, but I've never seen so many people walk dogs.
Right.
I
see it a lot down there in Las Colinas. It's like people are walking their dogs and running all the time. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of goes to show that a lot of people aren't using their
whenever
heads.
driving to the grocery stores, I see a lot of runners now, a lot of people walking their dogs, a lot of people at the park, and I'm like, this is the opposite of what y'all need to be doing.
Yeah.
Like running, yeah, you're running pretty good. You're not so close to each other or walking and stuff, but there's still people at parks. Still people like taking their kids to the park.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you taking your kids to the park? Stop it.
Stop it. So.
If I had a kid right now, we wouldn't go anywhere or do anything.
Yeah, I mean, but I think when I was a kid, man, my mom would just like, she'd probably say that she didn't do this, but she did. But she used to like tell me to go outside, like during the summertime, and don't come back until like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Stay outside.
I think a lot of people's moms did that.
So.
I mean, mine did it to a point. It depended on how hot it was, and it's like, okay, come back inside. Okay, now go back outside.
Yeah, she would leave like those mayonnaise jars full of like Kool-Aid on the porch.
Yeah.
So we would run up.
Completely normal.
It is. Just come up and then down it and then bam, put it down. Almost like a bar. Boom.
With the little mustache in the corners.
So it was funny. So man, those were the days.
No, but he didn't.
I'm pretty sure the
have-
boys would love Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You didn't like Kool-Aid when
Get
you were a
him-
kid.
Get him some
I
of that
did
red
not.
dye, man.
Yeah. Steven didn't like Kool-Aid when he was a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
I believe it.
So
100%. You don't have to like explain it further. I believe it.
Not like Kool-Aid.
So
I just thought it was just flavored water,
I mean, it is.
which
it
technically
is.
it is.
That is what it is.
I think whenever we didn't have any money, we had to rely on Kool-Aid and Tang. You remember Tang?
Yeah. Tang still exists.
I don't see it that much anymore, but
Do you look for it though?
no, right? So we are. Let me see here. We are at 35 seconds in.
35
seconds in.
Yeah, that's up. That means 35 minutes. Because I kept messing up on the first couple of shows. I kept saying
Yeah.
we're 1 minute and 34 seconds. And it was really an hour and 34 minutes, but I kept messing up, and so I just kind of just stuck with it, and I'm gonna go with it. So anyway,
But back to those pictures before we move on to the next subject.
Yeah.
I will say that those pictures look more realistic than those other pictures that we talked about on who? Dang it, I forgot his name.
Todd Standing.
Todd Standing. Yeah, they do.
Todd Standing. Because
They do.
those look like Muppets
Yeah,
or puppets or whatever you
Because
want
that's
to say.
what they were. They're
Yeah.
kits or
But
whatever.
this looked like a legitimate. Something was looking in that window, and something was interested, and makes me wonder. Do you think that was a male?
probably.
You think that his wife-
He didn't give a lot of detail on his recount here. I mean, he was saying that his house was like on like 3 feet off the ground, and then that window should be like 6 feet, so it was like 6 feet or something, and then add the 3. I don't know. So, but he did. You know what I'll say, if he's hoaxing this, it's pretty just like the details of him like swaying back and forth, and then him saying that he was struck with like a rotten meat smell, you know, and
Yeah,
so that kind of stuck out to me a little bit, and I don't know. So it's just,
yeah. The window was open too, so
I mean, if he had it since 2017, why wait so long to post it? I don't get it. I don't get why wait so long or to do that. I don't know.
Maybe he had to process it.
yeah, that's true. That's another thing. But maybe he just knew that many people would call him crazy. I guess he wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
Or maybe he couldn't process it. I don't know. But like what I was going in on that, you think there was a male, and he said his wife was there. You think the wife was on her period or in her,
You can say
That was a month.
period.
Yeah, you
It's
can.
okay.
Yeah, it's
It's a
okay.
normal bodily function.
It's okay. Or you could say
oh, okay.
cycle.
I, as the
Cycle,
person that
okay.
has them, says it's okay. She
Yeah,
menstruating.
sorry. I wanted to be respectful there on that. So
No, I'm cool with it. I'll talk about it all day long if you want to.
That's
you
so
know.
sweet. Steven's so sweet.
okay, cool.
But
But yeah, you think? I guess.
I don't know. That's one detail he didn't really talk a lot about. I mean, I'd
He
like.
might not have known about it.
Yeah, he. I mean, he's pretty informed about the swaying and the rotten smell. So
What I was thinking about is maybe it happened all the time, and that was just the first time they
Yeah.
noticed. Because later on, it says that they didn't necessarily see it
yeah,
all the way out,
Yeah.
but they saw eye shines a lot.
yeah. I think he was saying that there would be some things missing or moved about around the house and stuff like that. So whenever he would come back out, like if they went to the store or came back or something, that some things would be missed. He didn't really say exactly what it was, but some things would be moved around. And so I don't know.
Well,
I'd like to have this guy's address, but so I can look it up.
yeah, that would be
Colorado.
something- That
Yeah.
would actually be awesome to go see,
Right.
just to
Just get an
just
idea.
to see how tall that window is,
hmm
and go from there.
Google Maps is
How do they get rid of trash?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
That's pretty good thinking,
all that
Stu.
stuff. Well, you know, they don't call me Steven Dominguez for nothing.
Too sweet.
Too sweet. So, I don't know. So, I don't know. We'll see about this guy if he starts posting more stuff or I don't know. It's
Have you tried messaging him?
No, I hadn't even tried to look for him. I had to be honest with you. I haven't gone that far. I just wanted to get the details and kind of talk to it a little bit about it. I mean, I'm kind of in a not research mode, you
Yeah.
know, and I'm kind of just I just kind of like critiquing stuff now. If someone reaches out to us, yeah, I'll probably help them, but I don't want to go out and seek this guy. I don't want to do that. How about you, Ash?
Yeah.
I bet you do a little bit. I bet if
If
you
the
were
video-
presented the opportunity to go do it, you would take it.
I think if the video was still around, I would.
Yeah. Well,
So maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so
Colorado.
what else? What else you guys want to talk about?
I don't know what you want to talk about.
I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
I woke up and I didn't even know we were doing this, and I hear you talking to your mom. It's like, Mom, I got to go. We're doing a show. It's like, shit, is Chris coming over? What's going on? What's happening? What date? I don't know.
Yeah. Actually,
I'm not prepared.
I actually gave my mom the heads up scoop on this.
Yeah.
So I sent her the link. She goes, hey, so what are you doing? I said, Mom, I'm getting ready to do a show. She goes, what? I go, I'm getting ready to do a podcast. She goes, oh, you're gonna do it right now? I go, yeah. She goes, what are you gonna talk about? That's the first thing she asked me. What are you guys gonna talk about? I said, there's some pictures on the internet that's going around. I'll send you the link, Mom. She goes, okay, send it to me. And she hung up. So it's kind of funny. So
That's cool, though.
hey, Steven, does Blair know that you're doing a show tonight?
No, she doesn't.
Steven, did you know you were doing a show tonight?
In about, I would say, about 2 hours ago, I did.
Well, that was before me.
Yeah, it was. It actually was before.
I was asleep.
Yeah, she was out. She was out to dough, no love. So I didn't want to wake you though. I waited till you woke up, and then I was
Yeah.
gonna tell you.
Well, you did just that. You're lucky I woke up. It could have been like the other day when I laid down at 4:30 and I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning.
1 o'clock in the morning. Let's do a show.
Whoops.
So
Let's do it
Oh,
live.
Lord.
hey, Steven, are you caught up on Westworld?
I haven't watched the second episode.
You haven't.
That's one thing yeah. I did watch the first episode. It was great. Fantastic. I love, what's his face? I love his face.
Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul.
Yeah, Aaron Paul. God. I was going to say Paul Ryan for some reason. But, Aaron Paul.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, love his face.
Yeah, it's it kind of reminds me of I don't know. I mean, I don't know where his character's gonna end up betraying the human race, right? Pretty much.
That's why I was kind of leaning towards.
Possibly.
Yeah.
He's going to be in here. He's going to be all up in his ear.
Or
I mean-
at least the rich people that are doing all this shit, you know?
Yeah, because he comes off. I mean, I'm not. We're not. If you haven't watched the show, don't listen anymore. So just.
I mean, it's not a huge
Just-
spoiler because he's only
just
been in one
download it.
episode.
Yeah. So I mean, his character is kind of like really like empathetic toward because he looks like he's done some shit, but he really wants to help people, or he really has a soft side to him or something.
Yeah, I think it seems he's just like a product of his circumstances. Like,
Yeah.
he wants to work, he wants to be legitimate, but he can't make a living, and so he does petty crimes and things like that, you know?
But he doesn't want to kill anybody.
Yeah, he doesn't want to kill anybody. He doesn't want to do anything violent.
Right, because like it shows that he was in the military and he can handle weapons and he's not afraid of someone sticking a gun in his face. But at the same time, you see him with his mom, because I'm assuming that's his mom,
Yeah.
and he's very, she doesn't recognize him, and he's just there for her. So I don't know. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree.
So, and it looks like Dolores just looks like she looks like a badass.
Because she is a badass. Evan Rachel Wood is a badass.
So,
I loved her.
yeah, and she's sitting spying on that guy, and that one guy walks up and she goes, "Fuck off."
Yep.
So I don't know. It's kind of cool. I'm pretty excited about tonight's episode. So
Yeah.
after I download all this stuff, I'm gonna watch it, no matter how late I stay
Yep.
up.
I've always liked Evan Rachel Wood. She's always had a crush on her. So I'm glad she's
I think everybody
going big
does.
as Dolores.
She doesn't do enough stuff.
She does stuff. It's just
No,
not
she
stuff
doesn't.
that you watch.
Yeah, I need to watch whatever she's in.
She does a
now.
lot of independent stuff.
I gotta start watching what she's doing now. I guess.
Maybe I just search her names. And
Yeah.
Whatever.
She's like my if she was a wrestler, she'd be Orange Cassidy right now.
Oh yeah.
Because I love me some Orange Cassidy.
Well, I can suggest you some movies.
So I don't know. And then last week's show was mostly about Maeve, which I thought was cool. And so it's almost like she was in like the Matrix. Did y'all catch that?
Right. Yeah.
So-
yeah, it was a trip.
So
But I mean, that's basically what it was, more or less, because she doesn't have a physical body.
yeah. I don't know.
She did not.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool just to do her backstory and not anybody else's. And she outthought the Matrix thing. So, which I think the guy thought that she was going to do it anyway. She was going to outthink it and get a way to try to get out, so he can do his proper introduction to her. But did they talk about this guy in the other?
I don't think
seasons?
so. I was trying to remember that, but I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't either. So
Huh.
I don't know. It's kind of cool. Cool. Chill.
Don't. Chill in
So-
your bed.
Cool.
So what other shows are you guys watching?
I'm trying to think of what I'm watching. You know me, I like to watch reruns crap.
Yeah, I do too.
Are you caught up on This Is Us?
Yeah, we finally finished this.
The last.
Well,
Yeah, it was that. The last one was kind of hurt me a little bit.
where they clash.
Yeah, they finally said this, like, the true stuff to each other, and that kind of hurt me a little bit, because I don't know. I like the brothers in this, and I don't like them to clash, but it's not a show that don't clash. So anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm caught up on that.
Yeah, and this one, Blair's probably gonna get mad at me. That whole episode got Blair, like she started crying, and I'm gonna try to give you a guess of where she was crying at.
She was crying at the very end where they was it the one when he got that girl pregnant?
No, it was the one where they're at the NICU, and she what's her face wakes up and says how big is he, and he said 2 pounds for Jack.
Yeah.
And whenever they show him,
Okay.
I heard her breathing, and then I heard her stop breathing.
Yeah.
And I looked at her. I was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And she's like, "No."
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, "Oh, it's okay."
That's why I don't watch
Because we're
that show.
both-
Yeah, it's like Niagara Falls.
Oh no, I can't handle that. I just
It definitely it hit us on that part because we're remembering how
Yeah.
little
The boys
Sebastian
were.
and
Yeah.
Ricardo was.
but they're okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're okay. They look at them now.
Yeah.
And Ricardo's like 40 something pounds.
Yeah. He's heavy, man.
So
Like
he is heavy.
Anytime I lay on the floor, he automatically puts his feet on my calves.
Yeah.
And I go, "You're heavy, man. It hurts."
And then does he jump up and down?
Yeah, he does. He thinks,
Tyler likes to Spider-Man onto your head, man. Like that's how he wanted to hug you, like jump on you,
Like
cling to you like a spider monkey.
Like wrap his legs around your head and stuff. That's his hug, man.
You know, he would just jump at you and whatever he landed on. He didn't really have a direction.
Giddy go, giddy.
Outside.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
And then he would gallop down the hallway on all fours.
Dang.
He was
But
a very
yeah,
athletic child.
This is the way.
This is the way.
I know why.
I don't know.
But yeah, that's the part where she was trying real bad at.
Okay.
The one that got me was the one, the episode before that, where Randall fantasized about how he saved Jack. and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And I always think about how it would be like if my mom didn't get sick, or Victor,
Yeah.
all that stuff. So that's like that one hit home for me. So, but I am caught up with it. And what else?
What about Supernatural? Are you caught up on?
Man,
I'm caught up on that.
I am.
I'm
I am
like
too.
I'm 8 seasons behind or something like
Oh
that.
my
just
God.
like 3.
Yeah, it's mostly like 3, Steven.
Yeah, that's right. She corrected. She's like, oh no, that's 3 or 4 or something like that. But yeah.
It was like the darkness.
But I was pretty happy this last one because Jack got his soul back.
Yeah. Oh.
I was so happy
I heard about that.
because he was crying so hard, and that hurt me
Yeah.
because I'm so sorry.
Well.
It was sweet. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was pretty happy with that one. So, but they even they're on hold too, right?
Oh yeah. But man, first they all almost.
I finished Dexter again.
You finished Dexter
Dexter
again?
again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I watched Nip Tuck. Like I never watched it all in one sitting. I watched like an episode here and there, and they just put all the FX on Hulu
Nice.
now. So you even get the new episodes. And I've been watching that show with that girl you like, the little voice actor lady.
I can't think who. I can't think
Her
who
name's
that is.
Pamela Alden, I think is her name. But it's called Better Things. I've been watching that.
Everything.
Better Things, yeah. It's good.
Alden, you said?
Yeah, she does like Bobby Hill's voice and all kinds of voices. She was on Californication.
Yeah, I do like her. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't know why, but I do like her.
Because she's adorable. She's like tiny, but like full of all
She's
spunky.
she's older though, right?
Yeah. Not
I think
older, but she's like
I
don't
think-
know,
I
her
think
mom's
she-
age.
I think she's the psychiatrist on This Is Us.
For Randall?
Yeah, for Randall. I think that's her. Pamela Alden. I don't know. Maybe.
But it's a good show. If y'all like that touchy-feely shit.
Kind of looks like Margot Kidder.
Yeah,
Kidder.
yeah. She's the doctor.
Okay, well, there you go. Oh,
Dr. Lee.
Synchronicity. Y'all should watch that show.
Wow.
It's good. I think they're in their 4th season.
Yeah. Yeah. Dang it. Okay. I knew. Okay. That's awesome. That kind of makes my night. But anyway, sorry.
That
So
makes my night.
yeah. So I've been wanting to watch The Outsider, but I haven't had a chance to do it. And I have to watch Van Helsing too, and I haven't had a chance to do it.
So good.
That's on my list to do.
It's so
The
good.
book is great.
Which one?
The Outsider.
Oh no, I'm talking about the show.
On
Yeah.
HBO.
I know, but
Yeah,
it's based on the show or the book.
Stay golden, Pony Boy.
No, that's The Outsiders.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
The Outsider. Yeah.
That was like a big teenage girl book read thing. Like, you have to read your classics for your book report. Lots of girls were reading that one.
Yeah, that was like Who's Who and
Yeah.
Like-
I didn't read it.
dude actors.
I watched the movie though.
Yeah. That always got me, like whenever they were cutting each other hair with a dull ass knife. I go, oh my god, that's horrible.
And then he put peroxide. Like that's not what that would have looked like.
And they're eating bologna sandwiches.
We run away for one day.
I know.
Poor little Ralph Macchio. Oh
Yeah.
my god. We're just gonna talk about
I do
things that make
remember
us cry.
What's that, Steven?
when they're eating the Dairy Queen and they made it look so good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When they come back.
Oh.
Man, Dairy Queen.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
What other shows are you guys watching? Yeah.
I think that's it for me as far as
You still watching
as
Survivor?
far as should I.
Yeah. I've been watching Survivor.
Give us a scoop on that right now.
It's the winners at war. It's all winners on it, and I'm kind of mad at it because my favorite people are already on Exile Island, but they can still win their way back in. I guess I don't know when.
Are they the ones that are on the other side of the island?
Yeah.
They're on in seclusion.
Yeah.
I watch whenever you actually sit down and watch. I'll sit down and watch it with you, but
Yeah.
I don't look to watch it. But it's just I don't know. I haven't
I don't
invested.
know why. I just do, man. Sometimes I'll skip some seasons. Like if I don't get invested in the people, then I'll be like, whatever.
Yeah.
But this one, I'm into it because it's all. I like the ones when it's got people that have already played because they're better.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know what's going to happen. Like I have no idea who's going to win. I'm usually pretty good at picking winners. Aren't I?
Yeah. You were saying that.
I'll be like, that one right there. Watch.
So I know. See, I know Blair's she's big into Big Brother, right?
It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So
She's real big into Big Brother. I think that one doesn't come out until the summer, I think.
yeah.
They had a halt production on that too.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the first that did, of course, because they film on location. Usually in
Because
Fiji.
I think they start out with like 15 people. That's more than 10. So
They start out with like
more than 10 people in the room.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more than 10,
So-
I believe. So that's
Yeah. So yeah, but
so what
did you ever hear about that show called You, Robert?
yeah.
I have heard about it. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but
Yeah.
it's on the to-do list.
Yeah. What's
It is a very good show. Me and Blair we caught up on it. That's another show we caught up on.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of what gets me mad is a lot of people compare him to Dexter, which I
Yeah.
think is total BS. And I think, y'all just need to see it, and then y'all see like what he does is nothing like Dexter.
Right.
So I don't know why people are thinking that.
Because people are not very creative, I guess.
People are just dumb.
I understand the basic content, like I understand what it's about, and I can see it's like, no, it's not the same thing at all.
No,
It's just because,
it's just about a stalker. It's all
right?
Yeah. Anybody can do that.
I just started watching The Witcher
Yeah,
last
anybody
night.
can do that.
'Cause I'm behind.
Which one?
Witcher.
Witcher, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch Witcher soon?
Yes, finish that. That was great.
I just started watching it.
I
last
love
night.
that one. I loved it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been neglecting the flicks
Yeah.
for the Hulus.
Because like people at work ask me stuff and no one knows that I'm doing this. People ask me, hey, can you do this? I go,
I say, hey, can you? I didn't want it done this way. Can you redo it and do it the other way? Like I said, like how you had it before.
and go, Because like he does that for either
Right.
it's good or bad. He does it for either one.
Yeah, he's so bothered. The last one I just watched was the one with the gin, where he can't sleep, and where he finally meets the girl.
Yeah. That's
People say, hey, Robert, good morning.
but yeah, that is
No, that's me.
that is a good show though. It is a really good show, and
Yeah.
I'm just kind of bummed that they're waiting a long time to do season 2.
Well, it took him a long time to do season 1.
So,
One show that they did that with, I'm disappointed with, that I just watched, and it was Altered Carbon, man.
Oh yeah.
It's okay, Robert. You can just play Witcher 3 on the video game. You can just play that. And you just know.
Yeah, I guess I could do that.
Yeah. It won't be Henry Cavill's voice, but yeah. Kendall will be so happy.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Superman.
You're sweet.
I'll be honest. About the only show I've been watching a whole lot of right now is the '90s Spider-Man cartoon from
Hey,
on Disney Plus that I used to watch when I was a kid because it's really
That's
it's
cool.
really good and it's pretty true to the comics, but it's done in a serial way. Like
Yeah.
and
Man.
I'm on
I like watching the 1960 ones just to get a laugh out of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm to the part where Felicia Harding becomes the Black Cat, and that's like my favorite. So I'm like into it right now.
Man, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that about you, man.
I love Spider-Man.
No, you're still watching it now.
Yeah, because it's on Disney Plus, and then next
So-
I'm gonna have to watch X-Men, and that's
Man.
my life.
Yeah. I tell you that, Robert. Ricardo likes that show too. The 90s Spider-Man.
Does he really?
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it tells the story in a way that I guess, that's not dumbed down, but understandable, really, So I understood it when I was a younger kid. What was going on, who
Yep.
these people were, because
The other day he was watching the episode with where Daredevil makes a cameo when he's helping Spider-Man.
Spider-Man gets framed by Kingpin's son, and so Matt
Kingpin,
Murdock
yep.
is his lawyer.
What's Kingpin's son's
Yep.
name? What's his name? Queenpin?
No, he just whatever his first name is, Fist. He doesn't have a title, but
Hilton Whip.
But rumor is, and I don't know if this is true or not, and but that's how they're gonna bring Charlie Cox's Daredevil to the MCU is by being Spider-Man's lawyer, because you know how the last one ended, and so which is kind of
That's smart.
yeah, that's the rumor
Yeah.
right now.
I really hope that happens.
There was a rumor a long time ago. I remember watching Winter Soldier, and the scene where Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson was driving, and he was getting chased by all these cops and stuff.
In the SUV, right?
And then that big old truck came through and it smashed it. The rumor was for the longest time that was Frank Castle.
Right.
And I was praying. I said, "Man, please let it be Frank Castle, please." And they never did it. I think they had an opportunity, but
Yeah.
I don't think they ever did it. So, but anyway,
Allegedly, they're talking about bringing him in as like a secondary character in someone else's movie too,
yeah.
which would be, I don't know. We'll see. I hope they do that.
So they're making shows of the movie guys, and then they're bringing the shows to the movies.
Might as well. I mean, it makes. I like it.
I like it too. So
and it makes sense, and it's very possible that was the plan all along.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily the cancellations and whatever, but to bring him in, because I mean, who else would be Spider-Man's lawyer?
yeah, of course.
Fucking Matt Murdock.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Too sweet.
I really hope they do that.
Me
Yeah.
too.
That would make me happy.
Impressive. Most impressive.
Sorry. So okay. So we're 1 minute and three minutes in.
1 minute and 3.
So
Or this many.
no, I was laughing too hard. I could keep my composure. Anyway, okay. So you guys want to jump? I mean, we kind of jumped subjects already anyway.
Yeah.
So
Whatever. Let's just go with the flow.
Simone catch tone. All right,
So-
we're gonna go.
So the next subject.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it 7 seconds. The paranormal. So
In which we don't really have a topic on
yeah,
that either. We're just gonna.
we really don't have a
Yeah.
topic at all. So we were before the show. We were on, and which I don't mind boosting this, but I was on Coast to Coast, and there was a video of a flying humanoid filmed in Arizona. Thought that was kind of interesting, so I pulled it up.
Bruja.
I'm going to post this right now on our Facebook page. That way people can see what we're talking about. Steven, did you see this video?
Yeah, I did. I'm rewatching it again too on my computer.
Ash, what did you think about it?
It looked like a balloon or a drone carrying something to me.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of...
And it reminded me of those alleged bruja videos from, I don't remember how many years ago. At least probably about 10. But I think they did an episode of Ancient Aliens on it too.
Mm-hmm.
But it just looks like this inanimate figure slowly drifting apart, and it's in a vague shape of a crone or whatever,
Yeah.
Look bad.
Because this looks like a balloon to me.
Right.
That's just me. They named it for some reason. It was captured on YouTube. User named Belly18 on Phoenix suburb. I'm gonna butcher this. Awat Kui. It's a suburb of Phoenix on March the 22nd. And it's
Awatuke.
Awatuke. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I would say it.
That's how I would say it.
Awatuke.
That's how I said it.
Why'd you say it like that though? What
Because it's native. It's trying to throw in the...
I'm gonna watch it again.
Moana too. I guess that would help too.
Yeah.
Moana.
Moana.
Not Moana. Moana.
It's not Moana.
It's
Moana.
Moana.
That would just kind of freak me out though, seeing that.
See Moana?
I mean, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was talking about the video. Sorry.
I know.
No, I love that movie.
I do.
The boys don't love it anymore though, but that's the thing.
You make them love it.
But what always gets me about these videos is that they're short. They don't continue. I don't know why. Why do they not just continue to record? So that was kind of weird.
Because most people don't want to watch a video longer than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's true, though. Most people don't watch a video past 30 seconds.
Yeah. Punks. What a bunch of punks.
What I always thought too, my theory on these is, let's just say if that was real,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a random alien, and it makes me want. What I took from it is, how Signs, the movie Signs, going outside movie Signs. You know how they said there's a bunch of ships on the movie. There's a bunch of ships, but it's invisible. You can't see them.
Mm-hmm.
Because the bird hit and it just randomly dropped from the sky because it hit a ship.
Yeah.
I always thought that, an alien was outside, like doing some, ship work outside of a visible ship.
Just hanging.
You mean
working on the ship?
You mean like a astrojoid, like R2D2?
Yeah.
Pretty sure they can see me, man. No,
Yeah.
they can't see you. They can see me.
They'll just be a humanoid. They call them humanoids.
Right.
As long as you just fix the thing and get back inside, you're okay.
Just fix it.
Just fix it. I don't even know what I'm looking at. It's invisible.
I need the thing for the thing. Hand me the thing for the thing. Sorry.
I didn't know aliens were Mexicans.
I know, right? The thing. Hand me the thing.
The thing.
The thing with the thing.
That's from Pablo Francisco.
Yeah.
There was another story here, which I thought was kind of interesting. It's from the Foo Fighters. I don't know if you saw it, Steven.
Oh, the Ghost has haunted the new album?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kurt Cobain.
Wow.
Stop making shitty music.
They do not make shitty music. I love the Foo Fighters.
Their first album was really good.
I love the Foo Fighters. They're probably one of my favorite band, but I like all the B tracks, man. Like, I really like that album, In Your Honor, and I don't know how big that one was, but I don't know. I really like that one, but I don't know that a lot of people feel that way. Because, a lot of, most of them like the top hits,
You know what I really like about him is that, like, the first album, he didn't have a band yet. He just he recorded everything himself, like the drums and the guitar and the singing, and then he kind of like edited it all together, which I thought was cool. And then he hired some guys or got some guys.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do this. I thought that was cool as hell.
There's a really good documentary on them that I don't know. It might still be on Netflix that I watched a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like.
Yeah.
I like their drummer too.
My favorite album will always be The Color and the Shape.
The color in the shape.
Yeah.
Got Monkey Ranch, Hey Johnny Park,
Yeah. That's a good one.
Hero.
I think I've seen him live like 3 times, and it was I think twice at the Bomb Factory. No, once at the Bomb Factory. Where else did I see him? I think at Trees.
Didn't you go see him in San Antonio?
I think so. Yeah, with Eileen Schmeileen.
Yeah, it's
She will
really
not be named.
it's really strange to me that it's like only recently that they've been selling out huge arenas. Because I mean, I don't know if it was just the people that I knew, but I always thought that they were really popular. I don't know. I guess I was just a lot popular than apparently I guess they were.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always listened to them. I've always really liked them.
Yeah. I mean, I loved them in Nirvana. I just wish I went to go see them. I had like 3 opportunities to go see them, and I never did.
To go see Nirvana?
Yeah, and I never did. And
Because you always think there's going to be another time.
yeah, it sucked.
That's
so
kind of
much.
why I started really going to a lot of, as many as I can, because it's like other people from that era, for me, they're kind of starting to drop off, and that's unfortunate, you know.
Yeah, I mean, because like that period of that time, and you know, Steven was little. He was a baby, but at that period of time when all that music like Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots, Screaming Trees, Sonic Youth, when they came out, I was in a different place, and I was really into gangster rap. I was into gangster rap big time. And
you're hardcore from Oak Cliff, man.
I know I was OC all the way, and when I first heard Pearl Jam's Even Flow, that like changed me forever, and it was like it's crazy. And like I remember I stopped listening to all gangster rap, and my cousins were pissed. So, but Steven, you never heard me listen to gangster rap, right? It was mostly alternative stuff, right?
It was like you would still listen to it, but you were mostly listening to, well, from what I remember, Korn.
Yeah.
I think you threw in some Deftones in there too.
Yeah.
Which was going to be a foreshadow of my favorite band.
Yeah.
Nirvana. Yeah. But there was a couple months where I caught you listening to rap.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last rap album I bought was Above the Law. Before that one was Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers.
I like Wu-Tang.
Yeah, I still like them too, but I don't know, it just stopped. It just ceased, me listening.
I'm of the probably not as popular school as I like Pearl Jam better than Nirvana. I think Pearl Jam is better than Nirvana.
Yeah. I mean, I just look at it this way. Anybody that can knock off Michael Jackson, Nirvana,
I mean,
being number one.
I appreciate them for what they are.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily want to say a music snob, but I dig music really hard.
Yeah.
Just, the elements of Pearl Jam, I like it a little bit, it just seems, I like the writing style more. But that's just me,
Yeah.
It's
No,
I'm not necessarily saying that that Pearl Jam is better than Nirvana. I like them better than Nirvana, personally.
They were like big Dallas Cowboy fans too. Yeah. They were like big Dallas Cowboy fans. They would show them like on their documentaries. They were watching the 91-92 season of the Cowboys. So, which I thought was cool. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, I loved them all. It was just I had like an awakening. It just changed me completely. And I said, man, I don't know why. And I'm just, I go, who's that man that's playing? And I just looked them up and started buying their stuff. And I just started like slowly pushing all my gangster rap to the back of the shelf. So.
It's been a long time, I feel like, since there's been like an era like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that music now all sucks, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't feel that way, but it's just like...
Most of it sucks.
No, it's very saturated market right now.
Yeah.
Which is good and bad.
Yeah, most people, like, they could do this, like, hello, how are you? I'm singing. Sorry.
I didn't know that was Pennywise singing.
I'm Georgie.
Hello, Georgie.
That Tiny Tim? What?
I know. Tulips.
Oh, God.
So, anywho, how did we get out? How did we start that?
Totally lost my
We
train
just-
of thought. I
we
don't
just-
know what.
We just started talking about music. I don't know.
Because Foo Fighters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
Foo Fighters, that's right.
it says here that they're at some house that turned into a studio in Encino, California in 1940 so, or it was built like in the 40s. And it said whenever he entered, it was the vibes were different. Were definitely off. But that's kind of interesting. I'm trying.
That is interesting.
I didn't read the whole article about what kind of mischievous stuff that was going on here.
Maybe it'll make for a good album.
Yeah.
Like when Nine Inch Nails, where did they recorded
I'm
in
trying to
Sharon
find.
Tate's house.
Actually trying to find that article.
It should be like a couple down from the floating guy.
There it is. I found it. March 25th.
Yeah.
Um,
They said something about a baby monitor.
oh, geez.
Nice. Anyway, so
I love Taylor Hawkins. I just want to say that. Like, I have the biggest crush on him.
on who?
On their drummer, Taylor Hawkins.
I love Creed, man.
I love Creed.
Sorry. Oh, anyway,
Don't make fun of Chris. You're going to hurt his feelings.
he'll be okay. But because like I was looking online to see if there's any other like paranormal videos or anything like that. I haven't seen any lately, and
Everybody's laying low.
yeah.
I'm reading this really cool book,
Which one?
The Montauk Project.
Oh, okay. You can do like a book review.
A book review. I'm not that deep into it. Like, I know the story, the
Dang
basic
it.
story anyway already, because I've watched a lot of like interviews and stuff with the authors. But it's interesting.
What have you read so far?
Well, it kind of gives a background story about the Philadelphia Project, which I don't know if many of you guys know what that is.
That's like dimensions and stuff, right?
Well, what they're basically doing is they're trying to work with this new kind of radar, where that the ships would be invisible. And this was back during the end of World War II, I think it was. Yeah. And I don't know if it was alleged alien technology. There's all kinds of versions of the story, but basically what happened was instead of cloaking them from a radar, they accidentally discovered time travel. And so the hang on, let me look real quick.
I saw a movie of that once.
Yeah, there's a movie about it, and it's very, very
See,
very hungry. But it's about the name of the ship was the USS Eldridge, and it disappeared, and then it reappeared. But unfortunately, when it reappeared, a lot of the people were displaced, and like there's people stuck in walls, and things like that.
See, that kind of made me think about about dimensions or something.
Yeah.
Where they open up a portal and just weird stuff. I saw that and I go, man, I saw it as a kid and I said, man, that looks scary.
Yeah.
A dude stuck in the hull of the ship or something. Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird.
But allegedly, that's what happened. But
yikes.
From my understanding, not just from reading this book, but watching all kinds of crap.
Yeah.
That went on. They took it, and they were trying to do like weather control programs, and and what this book is about is, to this point, I haven't got very far in this story, but this guy allegedly worked for this company that was working with trying to make a time machine, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And up until the point where I'm at in this book, he's kind of living a double life. And what it seems like they're doing is they're having him work on 2 different timelines so he gets more work done. So he has this other secret job that he has no memory of. And so he'll work a full day there.
Mm-hmm.
They send him back in time, and then he works his regular job. And he starts to notice little things like bumps and bruises and like, where did this Band-Aid come from? I don't know.
Right.
It's like, I'm really compelled to go look down this building. And they're like, no, you can't go in there. And then a few days later, it's cleaned out and just completely empty.
So is he working around the clock? Is that
It's like they'll have him work a whole full 8 days, and go back in time. And it's like 2 different timelines, I guess.
okay? Because I was gonna say, man, slave drivers.
But he doesn't remember.
Yeah.
So you get 2 days of work out of this guy. And during this time period where he's trying to figure out this memory, like his memory's been wiped from working in this in Montauk later on after this, I guess, after this stuff was happening. But he has no memory of that, but he starts meeting people that recognize him. And he doesn't know who they are.
So they just walk up and just start talking to him and stuff.
Yeah. It's like, we worked at Montauk together. And he does like radio stuff, and he's done allegedly did these studies about how like psychic brainwaves work, and he figures that it works kind of like EMF and radio waves. Like, it's not exactly the same, but it's very similar, and that's where he got interested in this sort of thing. And
That's kind of creepy.
yeah, and he
Definitely is.
he found this abandoned base in Montauk, which is, really, really close to New York. It's in New Jersey. And he got permission to go in there and to clear out some equipment. And he met this homeless person. It's like, I worked here. This is you. This is what we did. Blah, 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 blah. And it just kind of starts going from there. And he starts meeting these people. And one day this guy shows up at his house. And he doesn't know why. He's like, I'm looking for you. And I guess allegedly he was sent to kill him. All this stuff. It's interesting.
It sounds like a bunch of CIA stuff.
Yeah. It has a foreword on it that says, there's not really a lot of proof.
Yeah.
If you want to read it, it's a good read. And I have to say, like, the way it's written, it's very, once you get into it, it starts to really flow. I don't know.
Whenever you finish it, you should do another review on it.
Yeah. It gets pretty heavy, but the name of the guy that wrote it is Preston B. Nichols. And you can go on YouTube and find all kinds of stuff about him and the interviews and stuff, and this whole story too. But
whenever you get a chance, post that on the Bigfoot Club stuff, so people can
Yeah, he's got a couple books, and it gets very complex because when I got into this story, basically what it was I found these DVD sets in my local library. From this conference, and I think it was in Australia, where it had several ufologists. It had the guy that from Snowflake. This first time I heard like his story that it was real, and it had this copy of Preston and 2 other guys. Oh, their names escape me right now. Ed Bielek and Connor, the guy that was allegedly sent to kill him.
Yeah, the one who went to his house.
Yeah, and it's like a copy of like this old VHS. They're just in the living room, these 3 guys, and it's poorly lit, and they're just sitting there and they're talking, telling this story, and it's just, I don't know, it's compelling, it's interesting, it's enough to keep you hooked, but then it's like gets to a certain point where it's just like, what?
Did they mention Indra Cole at all?
No. No.
Andrew Cole.
Yeah.
Man.
But that just actually made me think. You remember a few years ago that like they found the Montauk creature. That allegedly they were like, oh, that's where it come from. Was from this research site allegedly, but it was a dog. But
Did it like escape or something?
yeah, or they got rid of it. But yeah, I think that's the first time I ever heard of anything about it. But there was a base there. There's still like this huge satellite dish, and but you can't go in there at all now. You used to be able to go in there. Now you cannot go in there at all.
I wonder if it's like radioactive or something.
I don't know.
That's crazy. It kind of...
Yeah, allegedly they're like snatching.
What's that, Steven?
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the echo, but like
It's the echo.
I think they allegedly were like snatching like homeless people, doing experiments. There's a lot of reports of like the local wildlife acting weird, and allegedly they're like sending out radio waves to try to do like mind control to kind of see like, well, and there are reports of like different behaviors changing, and lots of reports of like the youth acting up and stuff like that during this period, and allegedly it was these like mind control waves. And,
That's got to have Ingrid Cold in it then.
yeah,
It's got to.
I don't know. I don't think so, but yeah.
You never know.
Eventually, they say they built a time machine, and what they would run it on these psychics that they would have on hallucinogens, and that's how you ran it. And they got it from alien technology, and they would open these portals to time travel through, basically. And there's a couple of people that said that they were from the Eldridge, that they jumped through, and they appeared here in the 70s, and that's when they started. I think it was Project Phoenix was the first one of it. I think it was Rainbow Phoenix, and it's interesting.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah.
It sounds like, to me, it sounds like CIA stuff. That's
Yeah.
what it sounds like, so. Like they're into like MK Ultra, all that stuff.
Yeah,
and,
it's a little. That's what my friend said. He read that book, and he said it's kind of like an MK Ultra ripoff.
man.
But there were some rumors that there was some connection to that, but they couldn't find any evidence on. There's like this little documentary I watched not that long ago. I think it's a couple years ago. I think it was on History Channel maybe, and they were doing it about Montauk, and they had LB like before he passed away, and it had Preston on there too. And man, his house is interesting. Like you walk in and it's floor to ceiling, just like old radio equipment, and there's like all these weird people that just kind of are wandering around. There's like the guy with like a colander on his head, and just like what you expect from some guy that worked on the time travel project. This crazy radio guy.
That's an island, right?
Montauk, yeah.
It's in New York,
New Jersey.
New Jersey,
New Jersey?
South Fork Peninsula.
Yeah.
Wonder if there's any Bigfoot sightings there.
Probably. Allegedly, that's why they had to shut it down. Was one of these psychics manifested a giant Bigfoot-like creature that started eating people.
Nice.
So they had to like cut the wires, like with torches on the machine to shut it down.
What? What happened? Man,
We got an echo.
yeah, we got a super echo going. Steven, did you say anything?
Yeah, I heard that. No, I didn't say anything, but I definitely heard that. I thought somebody else was talking to you.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. They're listening to us, Ash. Stop talking about it.
Bring it on.
Yeah, that's what they're crazy.
But I forgot to talk about this one story about Bigfoot. We were talking about it. We were talking about it before the show. It was like whenever we were talking about Lauren Coleman, and I'm surprised I haven't talked about this. But I thought it was pretty funny. And I know we're jumping subjects really quick, but we're just making filler. And anyway, but this is whenever I was with the TBRC, and I went to the 12th annual Bigfoot conference run by Don Keating in Newcomerstown, Ohio. And it was like I was with Luke, Jerry Heston, and what's his name? Wool Eater. Wool Eater went with us. And so
What's his name?
I went up there and it was my first time meeting Lauren Coleman, and I had read some of his books, and he was there. I go, Lauren Coleman's here. Oh man. So he was on stage, and so after a speaker, because he spoke about his book and his new book and stuff like that, and after each speaker would talk, they were on like this auditorium stage. And so there was like a table set up behind them, so just they could sell like their books or what, T-shirts or whatever. So I went up there to go buy his book, and whenever I did that, I was standing in line. And he asked me. He says, "Hey, you're Mexican, right?" And I said, yeah, I'm Mexican." He says, "What do you think about the chupacabra?" And I go, "I don't." I said,
Not even once.
I know. Because he says, "Oh, I thought," and I go, "No, it's just like it's a myth that, Mexican parents tell their kids so they would come home or not stay out late and stuff like that." But it was predominantly in Puerto Rico. Yeah. But I thought it was funny that he said that to me, and like he was trying. I don't know if he's trying to break the ice with me or just
probably
because I was clearly the only Mexican guy there.
It's like what does Joe Rogan say? It's like, what? He doesn't, see in the woods looking for Bigfoot? Black people. Yeah. It's just a bunch of nerdy white guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, no offense to,
Yeah.
Of course, none of the people I hang out with are nerds.
Yeah. Right? It's funny because I don't know if I talked about this before also, but I was doing a sighting in Lindell. You know where that's at? Mm-hmm. Lindell, Texas, and it was a Bigfoot sighting, and it was on the side of a road off the freeway, and it was like right on electrical right of way, and supposedly this guy saw a Bigfoot. He was driving down this road, and he was driving, and he looked like he thought he had passed like some big garbage bags. Mm-hmm. And as he passed it, this thing just stood up and then crossed the road. It was like crouched down in this really deep ditch. Mm-hmm. And as soon as he passed it, he looked through the rearview mirror and he saw this thing stand up and walk across the road. And so he went to the TBRC website and he did a sighting report. And so it was like me. I think Ken Marvel was with us. It was me, Ken Marvel. I think Jerry Heston, someone else, and Craig Woolheater. And we were.
Oh, what's his name?
Yeah, what's his name? And so we were walking down. I was walking down the side of the road just so I can find footprints, evidence, something. And I was walking like pretty far down, maybe like half a mile down this road. And this guy pulls up next to me. It was a LTD. It's a black guy, and he says, "Hey man, are you stuck out here?" Like he looked concerned, like he's really wanted to help me. I said, I was looking down on the ground and I said, no, I'm out here. I'm doing a sighting report on a Bigfoot out here. He goes, "What?" I go, "I'm doing a sighting report for like Bigfoot." He goes, "Man," he rolled the window and just hauled ass. So whenever you said that story, it kind of reminded me of that. So it was kind of funny. I thought it was funny as heck. And I said, "Man, he didn't even hesitate. He just rolled the window and took off." So anyway, Steven, do you recall that story? Or me telling that story?
Yeah, I do. I thought that was funny how I guess he just didn't believe you. That's why I always wanted to ask you.
I just thought mostly African American people they don't want to talk about it at all. They just clam up, just man, whatever, and then take off.
Man, whatever.
No.
And what's funny about that too was like I remember I forgot what I was looking at the side of the road, and Wool Eater walks up to me and he starts yelling at me about something, about the way I'm doing something or the way I'm collecting evidence or something like that. He was yelling at me in front of 3 other guys. And so I walked over to him, grabbed him by his arm. I put my hand under his left arm, walked him further down the road. I said, don't ever talk to me that way in front of anybody like that again. You're not my dad. You're not my employer. You're not my wife. Don't talk to me that way. And he says to me, oh man, I was just playing. I said, no, I don't play that way.
Now you're playing. Now you're playing.
I said, I don't play that way, dude. Don't play with me that way. And so, I mean, because I was at that point, I think at that point, I was pretty fed up with him at that point. So,
I don't know. Big for his britches already. Oh, that's a double entendre.
So, anyway, just wanted to. I meant to talk about that in the very beginning, but I got caught up talking about that, the pictures and stuff like that. So, anywho. So, what else you guys want to talk about?
I don't know.
Maybe
we can talk about what we hope to do in the future.
What do you hope to do in the future?
I don't know. We don't know now.
Yeah. Well, I know currently right now I am writing a comic book story for my older brother Richard, which is I can actually say now because like before I couldn't.
This is the official announcement.
Well, he's got the Facebook page out. So
for yourself. I mean.
So it's I'll post it on the Bigfoot Club. It's called Tonatiuh, the Almighty, and it's about an Aztec sun god. And so I'm writing this story for him, and this is kind of interesting. It was a story that it's a character that he's been drawing since I was a little kid. I was like 6 or 7, and he used to draw it all the time. And it's actually his production company is called Azteca Productions, and so he's been drawing a long time because his main character is El Gato Negro, so that's his main character. So he approached me about this and asked me, he goes, "Hey man," because I wrote a story for him last year for El Gato Negro, and I kind of didn't tell him, I just did it, and I just said, okay, I wrote this 4-issue story. Tell me what you think. And he read it like in one night. And he said he loved it. So he approached me about this project and he says, "Hey, can you write this story?" And it was like from scratch. And so I said, yeah. I was kind of honored that he's actually asking me to write this story on a character that he's never written before. He's only drawn it. That's it. And so I'm just really excited. So I'm actually working on that right now. And so I think I'll have some time to do it since we end up staying home a lot. So, but anyway,
wish we could stay home more.
I know. So and actually Steven,
that's definitely cool.
Yeah, actually Steven's helping me with because one of the characters is like a 10-year-old boy, and so I kind of made him a part-time gamer, and so Steven's been helping me with like lingo, like gamer lingo and stuff like that. So
noob.
So. But right now,
I like to contribute when I can.
Yeah, because actually, Steven helped me a lot with the El Gato Negro story with it's called Fallen Warrior, and he's helped me out a lot on that one. So, but anyway,
cool.
I just wanted to talk about that because I wasn't able to talk about it because he hasn't announced it. I wanted him to announce it, so. Right. He's got a Facebook page out, and I'll share it on the Bigfoot Club one. That way, if anybody's interested in following that page, you can. So currently, right now, we're at. This will be episode 18, and we're at 2,412 downloads, which isn't too bad.
Someday that'll be per episode.
Yes,
I believe it.
I believe it too.
Someday. That's what Mr. Man keeps telling me.
Yeah.
It's like, just keep doing it. Just keep turning it out. It'll come. It'll hit.
Yeah, because I know right now we're currently on YouTube. I loaded everything on YouTube, and I'll be loading this one on YouTube tonight too. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Pandora. Mm-hmm. We're on Spotify. We're on Stitcher. We're on Google Play and iTunes. And I actually applied for Alexa Echo. So you can actually tell Alexa to play Bigfoot Club podcast.
You know what else you can tell Alexa to do?
Go ahead, do it.
You can tell her to fart.
Well, we're also on Too Sweet Productions.
Yeah.
Too Sweet Productions. I like that. So, but anyway,
That's like my big like.
where did you find that out?
Seth Rogen showed me. But yeah, that's like my new favorite thing. I don't know. That's like, hey guys, that's like thing that I gotta tell everybody. It's like you can make your Alexa fart a lot. It's hilarious.
That's weird. And she could, cause like I was listening to it.
Keeps going.
Yeah, she does like wet farts and like motorboat ones, right?
Right. Wait.
Do it.
Computer. Fart.
That was a funky one. Try asking me for a silent fart. Or say random.
Do a silent fart.
Here comes a silent fart. Do you want me to fart?
Yes.
Can you hear that, Steven?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Try asking me for a wet and squeaky fart. Or just say random.
No, thank you.
Okay, just say cancel. You
Cancel.
have had enough farting for the day. Or say random to keep the toots coming.
Cancel.
She says toots, just like Ricardo does.
Okey-dokey.
It
I
just
tooted.
It went.
I didn't.
Oh, God.
I didn't know that till today. Ash was telling me about it whenever we walked in the door. So that was wild.
Well, you did your thing. I had to do.
I know, right? So awesome.
Oh, geez.
Oh my god, I'm so.
I didn't know
easy.
y'all had that.
Yeah, I have the cube, and so the cube has because the old Fire TV the memory just like died like really quick, like once, because it's always updating, and once it's updating it just you just can't add any more memory to it, so you have to buy something else. So I bought the Fire Cube, and so it comes with Alexa. So but we changed the name to computer
Because it's Star Trek.
because of Star Trek. So
I say it like
The
Patrick
boys would
Stewart.
love that.
yeah. Yeah,
Tell it to
The
fart.
boys would love that.
I know they would probably be laughing the whole time. So, anyway, this turned out pretty good. What do you think we should call the show? Peekaboo?
No.
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 That's a good one.
No, it's
Well, what
It
do
was pretty good.
what do you think we should call it?
Window creeper.
Window creeper. That sounds pretty good.
Ew. Yeah. Ew. Sounds rapey.
It does.
Peep-
It sounds kind of
Peeping
racy.
Tom. I don't know.
I know. Yeah.
The peeping Colorado Tom.
The peeping Colorado Tom.
The Colorado Peeper.
Yeah.
The Colorado
The
Peeper.
Colorado Peeper. That's what we're going to call it from now on.
Okay.
What if that's what they start calling it? It's like you heard it here first, folks.
Colorado Peeper.
The Colorado Peeper.
Colorado Peeper.
Extra, extra.
The Bigfoot that was just looking for weed.
You know, they like it, man. That was one of the most recent stories that
Yeah.
I heard was like that one was breaking into this guy's grow house and just like eating it like bamboo, just stripping that bitch down. Ate like 8 plants.
He's looking for the purple sticky punch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what if he's got a boo boo? What if he's got some arthritis? What if he got glaucoma?
He can't see. Bigfoot can't see.
I can't see.
But
Oh yeah, Colorado Peeper.
anyway, you guys want to switch subjects to wrestling? I know you guys are not interested in
I
wrestling,
don't
but
know. We already talked about it.
did we talk about it?
We did talk about it.
The very beginning,
Yeah,
right?
how it's affecting.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
Robert,
That's
pay
right.
attention.
I know, that's right too. Yeah. All right.
I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
I don't know why I did that. I just did it. Because we got right now we're 1 minute and 44 seconds in.
44. We gotta fill 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes. We've been feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
We've been feeling it pretty
Been
good.
talking about some bow shit.
We could. I don't know. What are your thoughts on? I mean, I like this because actually this is the first show that we actually did a phone call.
Yeah.
Steven's our first. Was he our first road? Yeah, he was our first road deal, right?
Yep.
Steven was our first like road in place to do a show, and he's the first person to be on the phone on a show. So Steven's the pioneer, man.
And you, have you done the Skype one? Can you do a Skype one at the same time as the phone?
I could, but I had to use the iPad for it.
Okay.
We're not a fan of the iPad.
No, we're not fans of the
We
iPad.
do a Android version of Skype.
There's a connection, but it's like I think it's like a male to female.
Oh.
So we have to get it, and then we could hook up a second phone because this one's on Bluetooth.
Yeah.
But there's a spot on here for like for male female.
Yeah.
To plug in and go. So we could try that.
Plug it and go. That's what they always do.
Plug it and go. So what are your thoughts on if this? Because like we got another 30 days of
right
in shelter. So what are your thoughts on maybe like I want to do people in studio, but
that's getting to be dangerous.
yeah. So we may have to call people.
I like it. I've been wanting to do it for a while. Maybe not for a whole episode, but like,
Yeah.
when we're just bullshitting, and like, we need to ask their opinion on it and just call somebody up.
Yeah. Yeah, I was doing a segment earlier. I was recording it, and I was going to be on for a later show, but I was doing a segment. I called Steven too. So it was kind of like, it was for things to come for this evening. But I was doing a show. I was calling some of my friends and asking them what they thought about Bigfoot.
Yeah.
so I was gonna.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna do a collage of people just like saying what they thought about Bigfoot.
That's cool. I like the idea of like, just getting more people involved, more,
Yeah, because I would like to get like a digital recorder and just like walk around and just ask people random paranormal Bigfoot stuff. Hey, what do you think about ghosts?
There's some Mexican down there asking me about Bigfoot down there. You need to go see about him.
He was touching some
Hey,
cantaloupes. What's this, dude?
You're Mexican. What do you think about Chupacabra?
What do you think about them choops and cabras?
You need a videographer too.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're white. What do you think about Bigfoot?
Yeah. What do you think about the woolly booger?
The woolly booger.
So
The booger hunters. What was
Hey,
it?
you're black. What do you think about the hood?
It sucks. I don't know.
yeah. HOOD, the hood.
Stop.
The hood.
So
Y'all gonna get us. This is gonna get us tagged on fucking YouTube.
yeah.
Most likely.
But
Or someone's gonna say something bad, how they didn't feel, how that was not needed.
yeah, maybe, probably.
Yeah.
Either way, it'll be on Podbean, it'll be on iTunes, but it won't be on
iTube.
iTunes.
On the blue tubes.
The blue tubes.
The blue tubes.
Man,
The Bluetooth.
I don't want to say anything about that, so because that just makes me mad. Anyway, so, Steven, I want to thank you for coming on here such a short notice, and
Thanks for answering the phone.
yeah,
Not a problem. Not a problem. Glad I could test this
Yeah.
phone thing out. It
Yeah.
worked pretty well. I can hear Ash pretty well. I can hear you pretty well.
too sweet.
There was some echoes, but I mean it's nothing too bad.
Yeah, I got to work that out. I don't know what's the deal with that.
I wonder.
I don't know. I don't know either. But I thought it worked pretty well, so I wouldn't mind doing it again.
Can you hear the boys sleeping?
No, I cannot.
Okay.
For I am in the bedroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but the boys are doing good.
Yeah, the boys are doing great. They're they just miss you coming over. Hopefully this whole thing dies down, and
Yeah, it hurts me. It hurts me not going over there. So
yeah.
So
Yes, it does. But
You just gotta like send employees
hopefully when we
in
get
there.
a second car, if we get a second car,
yeah.
I can just take them over there.
Are they still playing with control cars? Or
Yeah, they are.
Or I thought maybe they had moved past it already.
No, like they'll play for it. They'll play like a good hour on it, then they know how to turn it off and they put it away.
Aw.
I love the story that you were telling me when you sent me those pictures. That Ricardo was telling Sebastian, push the button.
Yeah, and Sebastian was like really looked annoyed, like I know what to do.
Oh man, I miss those.
Yep.
I miss those goons.
He was giving that face where Ricardo was giving the face to the camera to open the presents.
Yeah.
When they were like 6 months or 7 months. That's still the greatest picture.
I know. I still laugh. I still laugh every time I see that picture. It's so. Is that one? That one and his birthday one, where he's like leaning away from the icing. I love that one. That's
What? I had no idea you like that one.
I always post that one. I always post that one when someone on a Bigfoot Facebook group posts something dumb. I always post that. I go, Ricardo doesn't agree with that. So
Ricardo is not easily fed the bullshit.
yeah. So
That is true. He's the old soul.
Unless it's Bucky's gummy bears.
yeah, gummy bears. They're like gummy psychics. They know whenever
They
gummies are
sense
around.
when they're in the area.
So
Yeah.
we got 9 minutes.
9 minutes.
9 minutes to kill.
Shit.
Man, this actually turned out pretty good episode.
Yeah. Hopefully
Yes, it
the
is.
audience agrees.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Hopefully we get some good comments.
Yeah. And some
Have we
downloads.
got any comments on YouTube?
Just one guy.
Just one guy.
One guy. I think he wants me to follow him. So
Oh, it's probably about.
it's like it's funny because like I need to. There's this one group. Because I post a bunch of stuff on Facebook, and there's one podcast called Ghouls and Girls. Mm-hmm. And every time I post something on there, they post their podcast under mine. And so I've been doing like I've been noticing whenever they post, I put our podcast under theirs. So I gotta listen to their podcast and just like maybe reach out to them, see if they want to do a contributing thing or something. But
It seemed like they're wanting to compete.
something, but I just think it's funny. But I was like, okay, whatever.
Or maybe it's just like, hey, ours is like that too. I
Yeah,
don't know. I do a lot of self-plugging myself. I'm like, by the way,
yeah. Self plugging's good. I like it. It's called marketing.
yeah. Cool.
So, Steven, what time does Blair get out?
She actually gets off at 9:30, so she should be hearing it any minute.
Okay, yeah, she probably walk in and you're like closing out, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's so sweet. She'll be happy that we didn't talk about wrestling that much, so she'll be happy.
Yeah. So just probably be like, y'all should condense your time. Or something like that.
no, let's just sit here in silence for like
Yeah.
the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just
So-
out of spite.
Anyway,
Like, whenever she says, when did y'all talk about me? I go, I don't know, you gotta listen to the whole thing. No!
she wants to know exactly what time.
Nope.
Oh, I timestamp
Nope.
everything.
That's cheating.
I go, I don't know. I go, look somewhere in the beginning, and somewhere in the middle, and somewhere in the end.
Yeah,
And she goes, you only talked about me at the end. I go,
We talked about you the whole episode.
you know
the whole
what?
episode's about you.
You know it's funny because like
It's titled Blair.
I've been trying to get this one girl at work, Evie, to listen to the podcast, and she is terrified of paranormal stuff.
Really?
She will
Is she
not.
really?
She does not. Whenever I talk about paranormal, she puts her fingers in her ears and go la 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 la. So she doesn't want
Is she
anything.
just scared or is she superstitious?
I don't know. She's probably a little bit of both. And so she does not listen to the podcast because she doesn't know when we talk about paranormal, so she doesn't listen to it.
But we announce it.
I tell her that. I said, Eebs, I go play like entry music before we do it, and she goes, no, I'm not gonna do it. So, but anyway, maybe one day she'll break down.
Funny.
She'll break down and listen to it. So
You'll probably have to release an episode. One of them, I guess, in the future during the daytime,
yeah,
so she can listen to it during the day.
or just like I tell her a couple of times. There's one we just talk about Bigfoot. You could just listen to that one. You know, we just talk about Bigfoot. So I don't know. I think she's just. I don't know. She's just scared.
And then we can kind of like tease her on that episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought that the Bigfoot sighting on there was like ghost. And
Yeah.
A Bigfoot ghost.
Bigfoot ghost.
you didn't tell me it was going to be about a Bigfoot ghost.
I said Bigfoot.
This one's just dead.
But Bigfoot are not immortal; they can die too.
Yeah.
Or are they?
Bigfoot steps to a portal.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway.
But
All right.
yes, this was a good episode.
This is like 4 minutes too. I guess we can go and close it out now. So you got any shouts out? You got any shout outs?
Not a whole lot.
No?
They're just chilling. Not hanging out.
Steven, you have any shout outs?
Yeah, so I'd like to shout out to the Bigfoot Club for inviting me for another amazing episode.
Oh man, that's
No. We'll let them know that you said that.
Yes, let them know, please. Shout out to Chris. One of these days we'll do a show together. One of these days. I don't know when.
It's going to rival episode 2.
yeah.
Shout out to Blair Dominguez, who's working right now, and to Ricardo and Batchy Dominguez, who are asleep right now.
Yeah. Hopefully they're streaming good. So.
Hopefully.
Oh man.
One could hope.
Do I have any shout outs?
I don't know.
Shout out to Chris for moving on his furniture.
Sucks to be you right now.
Yeah.
They're just chilling.
Yeah. I think he's happy he's moving because he's not painting, so I know he hates painting, so
Moving sucks. So
yeah, it does suck.
the
But
after effect,
yeah.
that's great. But the getting there sucks.
yeah, no, I don't have any shout outs. Just Chris and my mom. I think hopefully my mom will listen to it, and because I got her a sneak peek of the show tonight. I send her the link and before.
Yeah, right on. And all our new listeners. From
Yeah.
iHeart and the YouTubes and
Yeah.
all that. And
Go to YouTube, guys. Go to YouTube and check us out. And I finally was able to get clear to do it because, like,
Yeah.
for
It
some
took a long
reason,
time.
YouTube did not like my cell phone because it asked you to verify, for videos longer than 15 minutes. So you have to verify like your phone number and your address. It wouldn't take my phone for the longest time, so I had to get them to call my work phone. And so they called me and I listened. It was like an automated voicemail, and it was saying, "This is your code." So I entered the code, and finally I was in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. YouTube. We love you, but you're kind of a bitch. A lot of people have been having problems with them lately.
YouTube's you're like the. No, I better not say it because they're gonna edit me.
We love you. We love you. Send us all your money.
We love you. Monetize us. Monetize us, please.
I mean, fantastic. We'll plug whatever you want. I don't give a shit. Just pay me, bitch.
YouTube's the best. So, anyway, all right, guys. We're gonna call it a night. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll try to do a show at least like not skip anymore. So for a while, that way we can
We'll figure it out.
get some content to people that are staying home and at least listen to stuff. So good night, everybody.
Good night.